Hi everyone, welcome back to Jolie Knots. I am Crystal, and today we are working on episode 2 of our Boho Jean Journal. We're working on the signatures today, and we're doing something a little bit different and special. We're actually going to be binding these with brads, paper brads. I think it's going to be super awesome. If you didn't catch the first episode, I will leave that linked in the description box below. So, as this one is completed, what we're doing with our signatures, we're going to put our signatures together. This one has 3, but I believe I might make this one with 4 because the binding is a little bit thicker. And then we are also going to put a signature in the front flap. So here, and we're going to actually use brads to put the signatures in. Just some regular old inexpensive brads. We're just going to make sure that our signatures aren't too thick, but they will hold in there just fine. Okay, so as long as you've got some brads, you can do your signatures this way. If not, I've got other methods where you can do your signatures other ways. Just go ahead and check the channel. Here's how the brads will look on the side. And like I said, I think I'm gonna do 4 here. I'll have to decide how we want the design to be, to sit nice the way that we want it. Okay, so to build our signatures. Now I made these signatures, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pages. Some are 9, some are 10. What I think I want to do differently is do a little bit less in pages just for the brads. And see, with this one, I put some glue around it because as I was trying to like close it down, it did weaken like my regular paper a little bit. So I'm going to make sure to put a thicker piece of paper in the center of these signatures. So what we're going to do is we're going to come up with a little bit of a formula. We're going to put together 5 signatures. So 1, 2, 3, and then we'll have 4, and we're going to do 5. So we're going to want 5 covers for the signatures, or you can do 4 of the same and then 1 totally different, which I think that's actually what I might do. So we'll do 4. The signatures that we'll do are 4 covers. We'll add a music sheet. I will see if I have some more graph papers. I definitely have more tea dye paper, book sheets, other dyed papers that I. If you have coloring books and you want to add those to your pages, you're more than welcome to do that. This is packaging paper here that I spray painted on, and I do have a video for like glitter glitz and glamming up your papers. I do have a video for that also, and I will link the description below. Now in the third video, we're going to decorate these. Now I haven't decorated any of these. I've only decorated the cover and added a few things. So we'll do all that in the third video. Today is just going to be putting all of our signatures together and then putting our signatures into the book and kind of distressing it a little bit, making sure that we've got it all set up properly, if we want any trifolds in there. If I'm going to do 4 signatures all the same, I do want this to be somewhat similar. So let's just say 5 signatures all the same. And I want them to be about 8 pages a piece, 7 or 8 pages. That's like 35. Okay, so 5. Okay, so I have a pile of 8 different kinds of papers. Well, kind of. Half of them are handmade. So I have hand dyed, with coloring, crunched with coffee, avocado, and then some of that packaging paper that I spray painted. So we have 4 different kinds there. And now we have 4 from a gardening book, or 5 because we're doing 5 signatures, but 4 from other stuff. So pages from a gardening book. We have some music pages. We have some vintage graph paper. And then we have some scrap paper that is somewhat on the thin side. And what I want to do with that is make sure that inside of the center, we want, because of the brads coming in and the paper being thinner, I just wanted to make the next one with some paper that was thicker on the inside. So that's what I'm going to use the inside for. So I'm going to figure out some sort of formula, how I want it. I like the way that I have this paper with the music sheet hanging out, you know, over the top of it. I like that, so I'm going to keep that. And then not all of these, like the music sheet, for example, and the scrapbook paper, and, well, none of them, actually. This is probably the only one I don't have to trim down, but I will have to trim a little bit to fit inside here. So, for example, if we fold this one in half, this one's going to fit. Well, no, it's not going to fit. This needs a little bit of a trim also. So I am going to try and trim my pages because there's overhang here and there's overhang here. I'm just going to trim off a tad. I'm probably going to have to trim off more in the graph papers. Yeah, that one's much taller. So I'm going to trim them all so they're the same height, and then I will meet you back with the signatures, and then I'll show you how to get them started to get them binded in our book with our brads. Okay, I have all my signatures ready, 5 of them, and I have one that has blue on it. So that's the one that I'm going to save for the other side. So before we do anything with the signatures, what we want to do is measure out our binding and see exactly where we want to put our brads, where we want to put everything in it. So our spine is 5.5 centimeters wide. So if I leave a 1/2 centimeter or 1/4 centimeter-ish, a little over 5.5 centimeters. So if I leave about a 1/2 centimeter on each side, then I can get 5 evenly. And then I would leave this one blank, because that's going to be space for this one on this side to have here. So let's find the middle going this way. So 8 inches, 4 inches is exactly the middle. Let me just mark it. So this is exactly the middle. So now, starting from the middle, we're going to measure where we want our spines to go, or our signatures, I mean, sorry. So I'm gonna line this up so there are 5 markings, like almost exactly in the middle. Okay, that looks pretty even. So we're not gonna have any here. We're gonna have it here, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. No! Shoot, that didn't work out right, because that's 6 markings inside. Okay, let's do this again. I need to line it up so there are 6 markings inside. 5, because there were 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So one's gonna go here. 2, 3, and 4. And then this will be left for over there. So now down each of these lines, this is the first line, and I'm not gonna measure to make sure everything is straight because I have these lines to help me out here. So 1 inch away, so 1 hole here, and then 1 inch away from the edge, 1 hole here. So that's gonna be a 3 binding. And then on the next one, let's do, let's do 2. So it's gonna be right in the smack center of these. So 2.5 inches and then 5.5 inches. So let's go over here, 2.5 inches. And 5.5 inches. And then the next one, I want it to be the same as the first one. So it's 1, 4, 7. 1, 4, 7. And then the last one is 2 and 2. Was 2.5 and 5.5. 2.5 and 5.5. Let's do the inside at 2.5 and 5.5. Okay, so now that we have our marks, we're just gonna take our cutting pad and we're gonna use our awl to pop holes through there. Okay, so for this, I'm gonna do this a little bit differently than most people do, and hopefully you'll forgive me. I'm going to clip these. And now what I'm going to do is just take a scrap piece of paper and fold it in half. And I'm gonna mark where I need my holes on here. So my outer holes will be like this. And then my inner holes will be like this. This is the top. And so now I can open this up. And clip this in. And my holes will be in the same spot each time. Okay, now we're ready. So I am going to use, the last one I used a lot of these, so this time I'm going to use these ones. So let me take out 3. My first one's got 3. I'm going to open this up and put holes in the 3 where I need them. 1, 2, and 3. And now we're gonna put these through one at a time. Sorry. 1. And now, when I put the hole in for the next one, I'm gonna put the brad in for this one so there's no shifting. So two, and now I'm gonna leave that there. I'm gonna take this brad and we're gonna flip it over, and I'm gonna put the brad through here, and it should ideally go right through the paper. And it did. But now I don't need that one there. So just gonna close, open that, and then we're gonna move this over and we're gonna do the same thing. 1. That one is not hitting the paper here, but that's okay because it's going to be held twice already. And now I'm just gonna leave that there so this lines up well still here. Flip it over, put the brad in. Yep, right through. Yay, there we go. And you could even still adjust these since it's just a brad, you know. I mean, it's gonna be a little, make sure it's all held together, but you can switch the way the papers are. You can add more if you want. Okay, so last one, I'm just gonna take it out and flip it over and hope that it did not shift. And there we go. That can come out, that can come out, this can come off, and this can go down. And we have our first signature. It is perfect. And now we're gonna do the same thing for our second signature. So we will line it up, put our paper clips on it so it doesn't shift around. One, oops, don't forget your template to make sure your holes are all in the same spot. So there's one and two. And now we're gonna do the same exact thing, but in the two center holes because we're switching off, remember? So, in the very first hole that, well, that we haven't punched yet, but the two center ones like this. One, and then we're gonna go here and make sure we go all the way through. Get everything lined up, and since we've only got two here, we're just gonna push that through and then move straight to the next one. One, and two. And hopefully I didn't shift this too much. No, I did not, yay. And there is the one. And then our second one, can pull this out, put another brad in, flip it over, and there we go. Okay. And there is our second one. So we've got the marks for our third one, our fourth one, and then we're gonna have one here. So I'm gonna go ahead and, oops, add those to finish it out like this one, and then I'll meet you back here. I guess I'll leave it on a time lapse, and hopefully you should be able to, if you don't got it yet, once you watch like the replay, you'll get it. We are done putting in the binding now. So that is going to complete the second episode of this series, of our Boho Jean series. In our third episode, we are going to decorate both of these. We will decorate first the insides with pockets and journaling spaces to make it look like similar to this one. And then we will add to all of the pages in both of them. All right, everybody, thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you have enjoyed this tutorial. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to share with your friends and hit that little notification bell so you can get notified when new content releases. We'll see you next time.